Somebody would like to comment? Well, from the looks of it, sa taas kami, the damage was really very extensive. Lalo na sa road network. And there's a lot to do there. Plus the missing persons, which is worrying us now. How many are still inside that DPWH? And those houses that were swept away that never caught our attention. So that's one. I am satisfied with the response of government. Everybody is here. And I think that everyone is doing his duty. I'd like to thank you for that. Verily, the rule in crisis management or whatever calamity or whatever, the number one rule is you have to return to normalcy as soon as possible. So I'm sure that Secretary Villar has the ready response for that. You are beginning to do your work there. Especially those who are trapped. So a lot of motor vehicles there. Probably they cannot move in or move out. They are isolated there. That's a major problem also. And about the people. I hope that they can just traverse it towards the area where there was this proper the municipal town, or they can seek refuge in the meantime. The mitigating measures that were taken by all is impressive, and I'd like to thank you. So I did not waste my time coming here, except for Major Karandang, General Karandang. You better go to the cemetery. You seem to be hounded by a ghost there. Your mic does not work well. Somebody is egging you to go home early. So, yes, sir.
Dagdag lang, Mr. President. We have a report here that there are 873 Fisher Fox affected in Abigit, Isabela. And there are 35 fish cages damaged, Mr. President. Malaking bagay po ito. In Gamu, Mr. President, there is one casualty. No less than the son of my driver drowned yesterday, Mr. President, as a result of typhoon,
after typhoon,
Rosita.
yesterday.
The extent of the damage in Santiago is still being assessed by the mayor, Mr. President, because there are a lot of business establishments that were destroyed because of the strong winds and water rain from Typhoon Rosita, and we are still assessing the effect on the employment of our workers in Santiago City, including Ichaque, and also the city of Governor Bojidin, Kawayan City. Marami pa rin mga mawawalan ng trabaho, kaya pinagandaan din namin kung paano ma-address yung mga displaced workers.
Well, first of all, to repair immediately the fish cottage traps there or something should be the worry of Secretary Piñol. Sa agriculture yan eh. But you might want to, in the meantime, find something productive for them so that they can be extended the usual, not the dole out, but the money to keep them going until such time that they can stand on their own.
We will do that, Mr. President. In fact, I was just talking to Governor na bibigyan namin siya ng emergency employment doon sa mga nag-display sa kanyang lugar.
By the Labor Department?
Opo, from the Labor Department.
You have projects here?
Meron po tayo, Mr. President.
Okay. So the last thing would really be, yes, sir.
Emergency employment.
Is that map distribute? Boy, naibigay na ba ngayon yan o noon pa? Okay. I hope everybody would be supplied with that map. It becomes a critical instrument during itong climate. You know, it's not about the actual event only. It's the social cost after. The rehabilitation would need money, and the displaced families would have to be resettled, something like that. It does not end after the mitigating circumstances would be solved, but also the concomitant consequences of these lives. Ang eskwelahan, Secretary Brunes is not here, so I will just take note of that and remind him. I think we have a cabinet meeting tomorrow or the day after.
Monday, sir,
Monday.
Monday.
So
Tuesday, 6.
so 6. So okay man siguro. I think that we have reached the standard of response needed for this particular incident. I said the most important thing really is to return normalcy. That would mean really the clearing of the roads and yung really mga tao doon. They are fed and they are given shelters outside of the line of fire. Yung nandoon ngayon. Do you have your men there working? May mga tao ka doon? May mga pagkain na dala? So,
May add po.
yes, sir.
Gusto ko po, una po sa lahat, thank you very much at nagkaroon ako ng oportunidad na nakasama kita sa aerial view kanina, sir. Gusto ko pong ipaalam na yung nakikita nating hanay ng mga sasakyan na nakabuntot sa backhoe. Yun po ay mga sasakyan ng mga gustong tumulong sa ground zero. Na may dala ang iba, may dalang foods items, mga logistic na gustong itulong, kaya lang hindi sila makalapit. Kaya ang hiling po, kung pwede, yung mag-airlift na lang sa munisipyo ng natunin ng mga food items o mga kailangan po. Kasi talagang hindi makapunta yung sasakyan doon.
Is there a place where the helicopters can land?
Mayroon po ako
Sa una?
din.
Okay. We will ask the TOG here to provide the mobility.
Thank you po. Thank you.
The most important thing really is that right now it's too big. Pagka yung mga ganun tubig pati pagkain. Yung pagkain, sometimes I have this something like observation na wag ninyong bigyan ng yung kaldero pati planggana kasi wala yan silang malutuan and they have to gather the firewoods and everything. Ang dalhin naman, the first dalhin talaga ninyo is the pure protein and mga pan, ganun. Yung sardinas, kasi inumin lang yan. Ang iba kasi ang bigyan ng bigas, tapos magbigay ng cooking pots and the plangganas and all. They are of no use to those persons at this point. They are bewildered, disoriented, And probably the first thing really is for the health services guys to go there to treat the wounded, or if you are seriously suffering from injuries, that this should be right away be brought to the place where the choppers can land, and yung mga helicopters na magdala ng tulong doon for those that would needed medical attention, they can be retrieved there and brought here in the municipality or the city. Ganon, you have the services of the Air Force would only be too happy to help. Rod, anong tingin mo? Masyadong serious ka dyan. You are serious. You seem to be in deep thought.
Mr. President, thank you. Yeah, wala kasi ang asawa ko rito, nagbakasyon. So ako kaya medyo seryoso ako ngayon. At napagod kami, boss, ni Governor D kahapon dahil tinignan namin yung Sifu Bridge at nagpunta kami nung gabi. Ang tama yung sabi nila, yung tubig, Mr. President, nanggagaling na ng bundok. At hindi nanggagaling doon sa dam yung tubig na nagwasak doon sa mga ano. Nagkaroon ng debris sa bundok. Hindi na kumapit yung mga topsoil, Mr. President. Kaya malaking damage doon sa mga bridges na nangyari dito sa Isabela. Ganon din siguro nangyari doon sa Ifugao. Tama o si General Balao?
Well, kung kay Rolly naman, if we have the immediate foodstuffs, yun na lang. Ang plus, do you have the butane, yung sinisindihan? Yung ano lang, maliliit yan. That's the one thing that the source of quarrel between Osmeña and the rest of the guys there in Cebu. Some are not, but I've heard incidents of accidents. Pero if we can acquire from a source that's a guaranteed quality, then kuha ka niyan kasi yan ang pinakamabilis, sindihan lang kung magluto man sila. But if not, then you have to bring in large amounts of carbohydrates and protein and tubig. Yan talaga ang the immediate in my years of government, ganun talaga. Tubig tapos pagkain, that's not. Hindi na kailangan lutuin. Diretso na lang kainin. Sardines and canned mga baka or pork. Diretso na. A good substitute would really be ng pan. Yan ang experience ko. So, I'm leaving. You are leaving also, everybody. So I have to attend I have to go to the tomb of my mother and father. May ano pa ako. So, if there is no further discussion on this, I'd like to comment. This is not a brief for the military and the police. You know, ang utility boy natin sa ating civilization ngayon dito is the military and the police. Sila yung, well, ako sa siyudad ng Davao, I have a disaster office. But then I can only employ so much. They cannot be really in thousands. Maybe 200, 300. But the problem is, ito yung mga, alam mo na, politiko man tayong lahat dito. At least yung nakapasok dyan, political patronage, ganon, kung sinong lang malakas. But in actual crisis situations, and aplenty sa Mindanao, whether it's putok ng several times in Davao City, flood, fire, everything. Itong mga disaster natin, hindi kagad maka-respond dyan because they report on the same, well, at least if you have an organized na palit-palit. Pero yung mag-report lang sa opisina for in 8 hours work, pag uwi niyan, mahirap i-contact yan. You have to create something like a bumbero na may shifting so that, but then again, if there is, they will be hard put to assemble. That's why, ang sinasabi ko, you have to say a word or two, good words for the military and the police. Whoever is there, sila yung utility. Sila yung matawagan mo, sabihin mo, sige, pumunta na kayo doon. Right now. Police and military, and they have the number. Kung lang doon sa Davao, I call yung mga nagtitraining sa police academy. So they are the utility. They fight, and sometimes they die. Then yung mga diggings sa Cebu, they are the ones who can be ordered to do the massive task of digging on a 24-hour basis. Kaya ang ano ko lang kasi yung nakikita ko sino nang doon, yung mga sundalo, well, they are the only ones who can say no. And they are the ones who can say, we cannot climb that mountain. What do you mean? You cannot climb that mountain. You climb that mountain. Yung mga ganon, sila yon. So, if you can take care of your police and military guys there, kindly do some. Kasi yun talaga ang utility boy ng gobyerno. They deal in all kinds of sorts.
Mr. President, can we activate yung mga engineering brigades? Because we have one in Echage, I think. Kung pwede natin mapalakas kasi parang kulang yung equipment nila. Tsaka lagi ko pinaglalaban sa Congress yung budget nung kung makagawa tayo ng engineering command para at least sa disasters, yun ang makatulong talaga sa amin, yung mga engineering brigades ng Army.
They have the equipment, sir?
Mukhang kulang yata yung equipment nila at saka wala pa yatang engineering command. I think we have only 3 engineering brigades sa buong Pilipinas, Mr. President.
I tell you what, Rod. The workability, if there's such a word, the lifespan of an equipment, heavy equipment, depends so much on the maintenance. Yan lang. I'm not offending anyone. But sa gobyerno, nanibid sa pag nawalaan ng karburador yan, iwanan yan. So, nakaupo na lang yan doong makina. Hindi na. And even in the police, walang walang maintenance appropriation. Pag nasira yan, ibigay nga sa iyo bago. Pero pag may nasira niyan, especially those donated na wala na yan. If they are out, if something is wrong with the engine or carburetor, it's knocked out. So, kung mag-investment tayo ng heavy equipment, it's going to be DPWH and the military, yung engineering battalions nila. And you can be sure that the maintenance is present and it would last longer. Yung sa iba, itong mga agencies, what I have really noticed, I'm sorry to say this to you bluntly, pag nasira yung isang gulong dyan, tapos mag-appropriate pa, wala na. Yung ambulansya, wala na rin. Simply because there is no effort for maintenance and the money that would be needed to do it. Kaya karamihan ng mga motor vehicles, mga naiiwan lang dyan. Except for DPWH, mayroon man silang mga, I think in Davao, you have a good garage there. Purang iba ibigay ng mga donated by United Nations ibigay. Sabi ko hanggang dyan lang yan. Donated po to the agriculture. Ganun. Pag nasira yan, tapos na ang laro dyan. So it's really a wastage. A lot of money has been wasted on because of no maintenance. There might be some effort there to look closely there. Yung ako gusto ko yung engineering because nami-maintain nila yung mechanized, papareho na yung mga mekaniko nila. But if you want a group that can respond immediately, ang sinabi mo, it is the engineering battalions of the armed forces of the Philippines. Dito sa civilian has fallen short of the, how would I put it, the vigilance to really take care of the property. Usually yan, pag nasira, pati gulong, yeah. Pero ang gulong naman na bago yan. Hindi pa kailangan ng bago, mag-requisition na, tapos ipagbili. That's the style of, yan dito, nahihinayang kasi ako. United Nations donated, hanggang ganun. And then, a few months later, makikita ko, from my experience, working for government, ganun. So, pagdating ng panahon, wala tayong sa limited resource also for the DILG, yung sa fire. There has to be a maintenance there. There has to be enough money to maintain yung bakit taga-Davao man kayo, nakita ninyong 911, it's well maintained, it's really funded every year. Kaya speak and span, tapos bago talaga, parang bago. And there's a 911, at any given time, we have about 25 there. Parang bombero, doing nothing except waiting for something that would put into action the very thing that they are trained for. So, ganun ang. Kung wala nang iba, sino pa ba yung... Well, I think somebody should call the attention of money. So, sino ang taga-agriculture? You might want to make a report, ask money to come in. Kasi pati yung fish cages doon sa dagat, kanya yun eh. It's part of the agricultural trust. Kanya yun. Pati isda. So, sige man sa yabang na marami siyang pera, now is the time for him to spend all of them.
Yes, sir.
You can make a report or ask him that I am asking you to tell him that there's a problem which they have to attend to dito sa dinaanan ng bagyo. Bigyan mo sa money. But hindi ko naman I was thinking that I would be only one coming here. I was not expecting all of you guys to be here. Pero nandito na tayo, just might as well, good as any other time, to remind him of yung problema dito. We have the funds for that. Every department is provided the money. So it's the only thing the only thing to do now is just really to work on it tomorrow siguro para matulong. But ang road, maraming putol. Mark, kaming putol. You have flown there in the area. How many days do you think you can repair the road network there? Good enough. Okay na. Totally got po. Sige. Yeah, General Halad.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. After this meeting, sir, to really organize our response to Natunin, which we saw as isolated from both sides, I would propose a meeting among different agencies here, preferably below secretary level, because we might have to involve Region 2 agencies because they are nearer to Natunin. And actually in the NDRMC, our lead for when it comes to response is DSWD. So we'd like to request the Secretary of DSWD to join us in this meeting after this meeting, sir. And that is to really facilitate the response towards our response to in Natunin, sir.
You just talk to Rolly. Mag-usap na lang kayo. Okay lang. Mag-usap na lang kayo na puro kayo general. Game of the general. Sa inyo na lang yan.
So we'd like to have representations from the other agencies like DPWH, DOH, of course OCD, DSWD, and of course from the AFP, TOG and TOG2 and NOLCOM.
Pwede ko depende sir.
Yes, sir.
Can I make a statement about the leasing pinakaan para itong police dito?
Yes, sir.
It's a lousy.
Yes, sir. I relieve already the superintendent of PNP. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, there was this development itong so something to do with the police. So all the police that are listening now might want also to be conscious of the fact that the police there is to maintain, protect our main, the commonality of our duty, armed forces, the uniformed policemen, is to protect and preserve the nation and to protect the people. That's about it. Ito ngayon, I was reading a report kasi sa aking office about that incident of the police na, and I'm warning you, I will never tolerate that kind. Na yung hazing at pinakain nila yung ari nila doon sa they will be dismissed. I will dismiss them. I have no place for people. You know, you give me a soldier from the PMA or from the PNPA. Nandoon tapos you rob them of his dignity. You dehumanize him. And he goes out feeling tapos maging opisyal maging general. Tapos gawin mo ng gano'n, pakainin mo ng... ako dumaan ako ng hising. I endured pain. I was hospitalized. But kaming mga yung mga elders, we really wrote them a formal letter signed by Justice Acosta. Mga brad ko yan classmate ko, Justice Acosta, Timothy, yan. We specifically place it bluntly there that yung ginawa sa amin, okay lang yun. Tapos na yun Yung hampas, bugbog. But itong klaseng hising na pakainin mo yung tao, puro kayo lalaki. He will go out of that academy almost robbed of his humanity. And he will always remember that. Ako kasi, hindi naman ako nagyayabang. I'm just trying to tell you that I really do not like this kind of shit. Sa hising, yung panahon namin, sa Prat, may taga-Davao, 2 kami. So, gusto nila na maghalikan kami ang pinaka, noon si Rosana Roses, pati si Marquez, yung mga bombastar. Sabi niya na, sige, maghalikan kayo. Sabi ko, Master, masusuka ako. Sabi ko, I cannot do it. Masusuka ako. Sabi niya, quit. Sabi ko, hindi ako mag-quit. Basta ayaw ko yan. Maghanap kayo ng iba. Gusto niyo, patayin na lang niya ako, okay lang. Sabi nila, plus 300 na palo. Sabi ko, good. So, I was hospitalized after that. Yung mga ganon, tapos sa lalaki, ihian mo yung bunganga. I don't need that kind of policeman. Not for me during my time, in my generation, for the next generation of Filipino. You do not train a soldier or a policeman who goes out of the academy with a trauma. It's a deep psychological insult yan and it stays in the head. And kayo, maligayahan ka na po, makita mo yung tao na anong ginawa mo. And that kind of thing is really taboo. Hindi yan gawain ng lalaki. So, whatever decision, pag adating yan sa akin, it is actually dismissal na. I don't need that kind of shit. Ayaw ko yung mga sundalo ko po, pati police ko na dehumanize. You can just imagine when they go out, what would be the paradigm of the guy? So utak niya. He will take it against the others. Because it's a trauma that stays, nawala yung dignity ang tao. So please, yung gustong pumasok o nandyan na, do not ever do that kasi mag-aaway lang tayo. Talaga, for me, pag dumating dyan sa lamesa ko yan, it is dismissal, period. So, yan lang ang maiwan ko rin because we are trying to Karandang, you better go to, where are you from, sir?
From Lipa City, Batangas po, sir.
You have to go home? Ngayon?
Sir, I have to finish our tasking first the problem, sir.
Have you visited already the cemetery?
Not yet, sir.
Ay, kaya nga hinahabol ka ng wakwak ng sinong namatay. Umuwi ka muna, punta doon sa cemetery, then just go back. We all have our obligations to the dead. It's practically our part of the culture, but more than that, It's something that is very important for us to commune with our ancestors. So, ganon. I'd like to thank you for being here. I did not expect a kind of briefing na ganito karami. But kayo na lang, I have made the guidelines. Anyway, the cabinet members are here except for one important guy, si Pinyol. Marami kasing patay doon sa Cotabato. Ilang patay na pasyalan niya doon. War footing yan palagi yung Cotabato. But it might interest you to know, guys, that most of our soldiers are really Ilonggos pati Ilocanos. It is the warrior the tribes of our country. Karamihan dyan, Ilocano, Ilonggo. Not the Ilonggo of Panay. Wala yun. It's the Ilonggo ng Cotabato, pati Ilocano ng... the guy beside me is an Ilocano from Pikit. Sana ito sa Bakbakan. So, happy All Saints. Bakit naman bagay itong tratado talaga itong mga Katolikong puta? Bakit may All Souls Day tapos may All Saints Day? Gusto, hindi natin alaman yung mga santo na sino yung mga gago na yun, mga lasinggo. Dito na lang kayo. I'll give you isang patron na, para hindi na kayo magpasyal. Get hold of a picture of mine. Yan lang ilagay niya sa altar. Santo Rodrigo. Thank you.
That concludes our situation briefing. Thank you very much. At maraming salamat po muli sa ating mahal na Pangulo, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, at maligayang pagbabalik po sa probinsya ng Isabela. Magandang gabi po sa ating lahat.